Brad Katona was a young and promising bantamweight fighter from Winnipeg, Canada. He had a perfect record of 6-0 in his professional career, but he wanted to test himself against the best in the world. That's why he decided to apply for The Ultimate Fighter, a reality show that gives aspiring fighters a chance to earn a UFC contract. Katona was selected as one of the 16 contestants for Season 27 of The Ultimate Fighter, which featured undefeated featherweights and lightweights. He was picked by coach Daniel Cormier, the UFC heavyweight and light heavyweight champion at the time. Katona impressed Cormier with his skills and work ethic, and quickly became one of his favorite fighters on the show. Katona had to face 3 tough opponents to make it to the finale of the show. In his first fight, he defeated Kyler Phillips by majority decision in a close and exciting bout. In his second fight, he submitted Bryce Mitchell with a rear-naked choke in the 3rd round, showing his grappling prowess. In his third fight, he dominated Jay Cuccignello with his striking and wrestling, winning by unanimous decision. Katona had earned his spot in the finale of The Ultimate Fighter, where he would face another undefeated featherweight, Joe Giannetti. The fight took place on July 6, 2018, at the Pearl Theater in Las Vegas. Katona showed his superior striking and grappling skills once again, outclassing Giannetti for 3 rounds and winning by unanimous decision. Katona had achieved his dream of becoming a UFC fighter by winning Season 27 of The Ultimate Fighter as a featherweight. He also became the first Canadian and the first fighter from Winnipeg to win the show. He received praise from Cormier, UFC President Dana White, and MMA fans for his performance and personality. Katona had dribbled his way back to the UFC with The Ultimate Fighter. Brad Katona was a rising star in the UFC after winning the Ultimate Fighter 27 featherweight tournament, and he defeated 2 tough opponents in Kyler Phillips and Bryce Mitchell, who are now ranked in the top 15 of their respective divisions. He then dropped to bantamweight and beat Matthew Lopez by unanimous decision at UFC. However, things took a turn for the worse for Katona when he faced Merab Dvalishvili at UFC Ottawa in May. Dvalishvili dominated Katona with his relentless wrestling and pressure, earning a clear-cut decision win. Katona suffered his first professional loss and was handed a tough lesson by the Georgian fighter. Katona hoped to bounce back when he faced Hunter Azure at UFC Vancouver in September. Azure was an undefeated prospect who had impressed on Dana White's Contender Series. The fight was close and competitive, with both men landing strikes and takedowns. Katona thought he had done enough to win, but the judges disagreed and gave Azure the nod. That was Katona's second consecutive loss, and it turned out to be his last fight in the UFC. In February 2020, Katona announced on social media that he had been released by the promotion. He said he was surprised and disappointed by the decision, especially considering the caliber of his opponents and his performances. Katona said he still had a passion and a drive to be the best in the world, and he vowed to make himself undeniable for a return to the UFC or another major organization. He signed with Germany's Elite MMA Championship, EMC, and fought for their bantamweight title in October 2020, but lost by split decision to Stipe Bursik. Katona then joined Brave CF, a Bahrain-based promotion that has been expanding its global presence. He made his debut at Brave CF 50 in April 2021, where he defeated Borislav Nikolic by unanimous decision. He is now set to face Bear Stepan at Brave CF 53 on August 21, 2021, in Kazakhstan. Katona is still determined to prove himself as one of the best bantamweights in the world, and he hopes to get another shot at the UFC someday. He has shown his skills and toughness against some of the top fighters in his division, and he is not giving up on his dream of becoming a champion. Katona returned to The Ultimate Fighter for Season 31, which features UFC veterans against prospects from other promotions, and his bid to become the first 2-time winner of the show. He had previously won Season 27 as a featherweight, but was released by the UFC after 1 win and 2 losses. He then signed with Brave Combat Federation and became the bantamweight champion, but still wanted to get back in the UFC. He saw The Ultimate Fighter as his best chance to do so, even though he had to face some of the toughest fighters in the world. He was one of 8 UFC veterans who competed against 8 prospects from other promotions, such as Bellator, One Championship and LFA. The show divided the fighters into 2 teams living under the same roof in a Las Vegas mansion, isolated from the outside world as they trained and fought. The last competitor standing would win a UFC contract. Katona was not allowed to discuss what happened on the new season, which had wrapped up filming, until the episodes aired. But he said he learned from his first experience on the show, and brought some small comforts with him this time. He also knew what challenges awaited him, such as the long hours of filming and the pressure of fighting in front of cameras. Katona was confident in his skills and his determination to make history as the first 2-time TUF winner. He had overcome many obstacles in his career, such as being released by the UFC during COVID-19 and fighting in different countries against tough opponents. He believed he had what it took to impress the UFC and earn his way back into the promotion.